Hi and welcome to Vlogmas Day 7. So today we are going to be making one of the cookies that I make a lot. They are snickerdoodles. They are completely vegan if you use the correct ingredients. So yeah, let's go. Okay, first things first, we need a half cup of butter, so that's 1 full stick. I'm using the Country Crock plant-based butter, but you can use whatever butter you want to. I assume that if you make this with real like milk and shit, it will also be delicious, but I obviously have never done that. And then we need 2/3 cup of sugar. If you use the earth balanced butter, you're gonna wanna let that sit out for a little bit because that's a little bit of a harder butter, whereas this Country Crock really does seem to get loose pretty quickly. Now we're just gonna mix this together, so cream it together. All I'm doing is pushing the sugar into the butter until it's sort of one piece. And then we are going to be adding vanilla and apple cider vinegar. You also will want to set your oven to 375. 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon vanilla. I just use any brand of apple cider vinegar, but you can use whatever you like the best. I'm gonna need to get more of our vanilla because I will be going through this fairly quickly. So once that is in there, you're going to, again, mix it together. Adding that liquid makes it combine so much easier as well. So now that we did that, now we're gonna add our flour, our cream of tartar, our baking soda, cinnamon, and salt, and then we mix it by hand. So I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of flour, whatever flour you like. I haven't tried to make these gluten-free yet, but I assume that it'll work, but maybe I'm wrong in that assumption. But this is just all-purpose flour. So that's 1/2 cup, full cup, one and a half cups of flour. Cream of tartar, we need 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna bring my washed one back. 1 teaspoon of this. Cream of tartar, from what I can tell, is a stabilizer, I think is what they said. It makes things like gooey or whatever, or like mixed together. I think it does the job of the egg, if I'm gonna be honest. And then 1 teaspoon baking soda. Baking soda. 1 of those. 1 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. So that's 1 of that. And then 1/4 teaspoon salt. I never measure salt, I just and assume that's good. So I'm going to mix this by hand. The one thing with this recipe is that so I'm gonna mix it by hand, but as it comes together, it's either gonna be dry or perfect. And then you add in about 1 tablespoon of milk. Now that tablespoon of milk depends on if you actually need it or not. So I'm gonna mix this and then decide through that. So this is what you're gonna get. It's a very crumbly texture. So we're gonna add some milk to it. Start slow. You do not need to add all of it just yet. And this is really to feel once you start adding the milk. So once it creates an actual full ball, everything's worked in and you can roll it out, that's when you know you're ready. And if you add too much milk, you can add flour to even it out again. We could use a dash of flour, so I'm gonna get that in here. And we trusted the process, and now we got a beautiful little dough ball that we're gonna roll out. I'm going to take a second to clean up my station a little bit, and then I will be right back. So these cookies are a little bit special in a way in that they're rolled in cinnamon sugar. So I'm just gonna make that mixture right now. And it is 3 tablespoons sugar to 1 teaspoon cinnamon. I'm just gonna use this to mix it together. And that is our cinnamon sugar mix. So I'm going to break these up. I like to roll them all out and then do the cinnamon sugar so that I know they're around the same shape, I guess. So I'm gonna roll some out really quick and then we will come back to roll them in the sugar. So now that that is done, I'm just gonna roll these in the cinnamon sugar. I got 25 cookies out of that bag. You roll these out in the sugar and then we will get to baking them. They do spread out a little bit. They do become flat cookies, so I'm trying to make sure that they're not gonna be touching each other too much. So now these are gonna go into the oven. Again, it's preheated to 375 for 10 minutes. You do not wanna overbake these. They're gonna continue to bake throughout their cooling process. So 10 minutes, get them out of there. Now I'm going to take time to clean up my kitchen a little bit and then I will show you when they come out of the oven. So this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. So obviously we got a little too close over there, but they are soft to the touch, but we're gonna let them firm up on this. Snickerdoodles are done and I'm going to try one. So these are really soft cookies, which is how I love my cookies. They're gooey, cinnamony. You do have like a little bit of sourness from the apple cider vinegar, but it works so well with the sweetness of the cookie. When I first made these cookies, I didn't even know if I liked Snickerdoodles, and then they quickly became one of my favorite cookies ever. Thank you so much for watching. If you make this recipe, let me know. And see you tomorrow for the next day of Vlogmas.